guys, Brendan Greck and Jaden Mano from Rain and Horn Real Estate providing you with your October market update. So Jay, you're in the market update, you're a very, very established agent, you know a lot about what's happening in the Sunbury market and neighbouring suburbs as well. What's your projection? What do you think is going to happen in the market between now and Christmas?
Well, BJ, I tell you what, one thing we've noticed is stock-wise, I think you'll agree, we've had a bit of a late spring. So when the spring market kicked off, it was traditionally very busy, a lot of stock. I don't know about you, but I saw those stock levels in Sunbury and surrounds a bit lighter than usual. And what's happened is it actually hit really late. So we had a late start to spring and a ton of stock has landed sort of late October, early to mid-November. So between now and Christmas, I'm expecting a lot of sales and a lot of properties on the market.
And what was the cause for having the late spring, do you think? I know that a lot of my vendors have been, weather permitting, not being able to get their gardens ready, get utilities, get trades in. Are you experiencing the same?
Very wet spring. So that put a big hold up on getting the garden ready, getting the property ready. I think there was a lot of shock in the market from just a severe change in interest rates. I think a lot of folks were just sitting back and watching to see what happened. And I think what's happened now is everyone's looked out the window, saw that the sky hasn't fallen, and they're just getting back to business as usual. So we're actually starting to see conversations happen of, you know, hey, let's get the property rolling. We know that the market is what it is. Let's just hit the market and move on.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Joe. I agree. The dust has settled.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at what happened in last month in October. There was the average sale price holding strong, 627,000. There was 41 unconditional sales. So numbers are still holding very, very strong. One of the interesting things, and we'll explain a little bit of what happened to one of the properties at 81 Yellowgum, is buyer movement.
Yes.
You know, for a while we saw the buyers slow down and really, as you said, watch the market and really analyse, is this a good time for me to buy them? When's that right time? But I've found the dust has settled, and looking at 81 Yellowgum, which I'll let you talk a little bit about, the numbers are phenomenal. I know last weekend we saw 112 people through our opens, so that's not a small number. That is actually matching what we had in the peak of the market through a weekend. Yes, we're holding a little bit more stock than what we were then, but the attendees are good, the buyer's mindset is good, and if they like the property, they're buying it and they're making offers.
Yeah, spot on.
Tell us a little bit about Yellowgum, 81 Yellowgum, that Hayden Drummer represented.
Yeah, Hayden Drummer had this magnificent property at 81 Yellowgum. Now, we're seeing buy numbers increase a little bit since, well, probably since June, July. This one knocked it out of the park. He had 36 groups through his first open for inspection. 36 groups. You'd be lucky to see 36 groups over an entire 4 or 5 week campaign. He saw it through one inspection. As a result, I think they had 5 or 6 active bidders, and Hayden, you know, we're getting texts on our group chat at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Sold it phenomenally well. Phenomenally well. Really uncharacteristic of the market previously, but I think it is a step forward in the right direction for the market should be.
And it just goes back to the fundamentals of real estate. If you market the home well, you present the property well and have it available for people to inspect, the buyers are coming, and it's all about value. And the value for that property, yes, it had a pool and a big shed and 1,300 square metres, but it was priced well, and the price actually excelled. I was ecstatic for the vendors. I know the vendors myself, and I was ecstatic to see the result for them, because that is the result that Hayden got and was able to achieve through the competition's life-changing, really, considering what we were quoting and what the sales supported and what was actually achieved. And I can't wait to tell you next month what that result was.
Absolutely. Just on the other side of the freeway, Brendan, we've got a property in Margaret Street, Moonee Ponds, number 80. You know, completely opposite home in terms of accommodation. So Yellowgum was a big family home, bedrooms, bathrooms, living room, swimming pool. Well, this property on Margaret Street is the exact opposite. It's a single fronted 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, unrenovated home. Now, as you know, unrenovated homes have been a little bit slower than usual, only because with interest rates, we're finding buyers are tending to move towards established homes and renovated homes. But tell you what, there's definitely a change in the wind. We've had 53 people through this property in 2 inspections. Didn't open on last Wednesday night and Sunday, just gone. 53 inspections so far. That's week 1. We've got 3 weeks to go until the auction. So really interested to see how the market responds to that property.
Yeah, and we'll let you know how that responds in our next market update, because they said those numbers are just, they haven't been seen for really this year.
No.
So it's really good to see that positivity and the market responding to property again.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about what you perceive is going to happen between now and Christmas. We're getting to our spring is here, even though it's heading into summer. How are you finding the market? What's that? If I'm thinking of selling my home and I'm thinking, okay, do I do it this year? Do I do it next year? There is still a window of opportunity there. I'd love you to tell our viewers, if they were thinking in that mindset, what would you recommend them to do?
So I think what's going to happen is, because we had such a late start to spring, I think buyers certainly are back in the game. We've spoken about that. So the shock of interest rates has worn off and buyers are back to normal. I think if you are looking to sell, I think there is no better time to do it than now. There's a lot of doom and gloom in the media about interest rates. We don't know what's going to happen, but life goes on. People are still getting married. People are still having kids. Kids are still moving out. There's always going to be a reason to move. I'm of the opinion that the market is as good as it's going to get now. We don't know what the future holds. Yep. We know the buyers are out there.
Yep.
I think regardless of whether it's mid-December, late December, early January, if the time is right to sell for you, the time is right for the market. I think just get it up there.
For sure.
What do you reckon?
I strongly agree with that. Stock levels at the moment, Sunbury's a rolling average of 100 opens per week, which runs with the normal market of what we've seen. During the peak of the market back last year, stock levels and open levels are around 70 to 80 properties, and they were transacting quite quick. What's happening now is the days on market have gone out, but there's still that window of opportunity, and pricing is holding. The biggest misconception and misunderstanding of today's market is, I'm not going to get my price. And I can tell you in Sunbury, the market is holding strong. Diggers Rest and surrounding areas, the market is holding strong, and it's all about presentation.
Yep. And
I use an analogy, and I say it to my team all the time. You go out and sell your car, you go get it detailed, you go get it polished so it looks as pristine as it can for that buyer to come through, but people don't do it with their homes. So my recommendation is polish your car, polish your home, get those little 1%ers, sharpen the pencil, repaint, put new mulch down, because the buyers are responding to presentation 101 right now.
Absolutely. Presentation is a big key factor in building an emotional attachment with a buyer to a home. So mulch it, paint it, carpet it, refloor it if you have to, get some colourful plants in the front and back garden. Yep. All those things are imperative to building that emotional attachment with the buyer, and that is going to guarantee you a strong result. Well, BJ, there's certainly been a shift in buyer activity in recent months compared to previously. So we know the buyers are certainly back in the market. So if you would like to discuss your property or the market, give one of us a call, or give one of our officers a call in Sunbury, Diggers, Kyneton, Wood End or Gisborne. And we'd love to have a chat with you.